Well, hello everyone. Blodbas here yet again with a midweek update that I said wasn't going to happen in the last video, but due to my not having a class tomorrow, I have to go to work in the afternoon, but aside from that, I kind of had an easy Friday pop up all of a sudden, so I decided I might as well drop a line and take the opportunity where I could. Friday got easy. The weekend got a little bit more difficult. I have a writing assessment test kind of thing that I need to do over the weekend. So that's going to occupy 3 hours out of Sunday where, you know, God forbid the university looked at the writing that I've done and evaluate me. I have to go in for a special test on it, which I just don't understand. Anyway, tonight's little episode, if you will, is brought to you by Guinness because I work for an Irish history project, so why not Guinness? The shirt is not intended to be near as douchey as it actually is. The mere fact that I own it is probably douchey enough with its nice pearl snaps and all that, but yesterday I had a 7 hour tattoo sitting that covered all this is new up above about yay, and that's old. Obviously, it looks kind of shitty, but all the stuff around it is new, and it kind of looks a little bit haphazard right now because we didn't completely finish going down from there, but essentially my half sleeve is done, and we spent probably, I would say, a good 3 hours in this little area right here. So it's a little sore to have sleeves on it right now. This kind of alleviates some of it. So I might look like a douche, but I'm okay with it. Anyone who has a comment on it can eat a dick unless they've had tattoos and sat through the kind of session that it takes to get saturation like in these flames. May not show up very well on a webcam, but I am really impressed with how vibrant this color is. Same guy that did this did my other sleeve, which you can't necessarily see all that well. That dagger was old, but pretty much the rest of it was all his, and that's what we're working on now. Initially, I'd planned that after yesterday's session, I'd maybe have one more, but we wound up taking a lot more time than I anticipated, which, is good. You can't necessarily throw color the way that you can black and white. This sleeve was relatively quick. And I kind of thought that this other side was going to go the same, and I thought, I'd have a complete half sleeve yesterday and we'd be working down onto my forearm, but to get the kind of color that we were trying to throw in there just wasn't as quick as I thought it would be. And just for grins and giggles, sorry for the shakiness. Shake, shake, shake some more. Initially the plan was this was just going to be, some fire, roughly, and some waves and some air and some waves on the backside. But as we were drawing it out, it turned into, we're going to do a little mini landscape in the middle of it, and I really like the way that it turned out. The lower part of my farm is all southwest deserty kind of stuff, pictographs and stuff like that, and he free-handed this really cool arch we kind of based it off a Delicate Arch down in Arches National Park, which is a big happy place for me. I love it down there. And it kind of rolls around into some kind of Utah / Colorado / Monument Valley / Sedona kind of stuff. And I'm just really impressed. I wasn't anticipating putting a landscape into my sleeve, but when he freehanded it on there, all of this was freehand. He put that on there and kind of had an epiphany with it, and we just rolled with it, and that's what I've discovered works best with this artist. We stenciled on this side, this stellar dodecahedron in here, and I think we did a really rough stencil figure out the webcam for this skull. I mean, we kind of had a stencil that had the eye and had the jawline and had the really rough shape, but all of this swirly stuff off of him was completely ad-lib. It was completely freehand. In the ditch, all of these tentacles were freehand. That entire lily was freehand. Had absolutely no stencil work whatsoever. I mean, this sleeve we just sat and drawed it out, with the exception of that dodecahedron. The girl was already there, the star was already there, and the dagger. But everything else, with the exception of the armband, he just freehanded and did fucking amazing on. I'll put a link to his shop's Facebook page in the description of this video, because I really think he deserves it. And at that same shop, I mean, they I had these bigger holes, and you can kind of see them. They're a little bit cat-butted, but I'd had those stretched to 1/2 inch and then let them go and just put rings back in them when they're double aught now. But they re-pierced my 14s up here. They redid my nipple piercings really well, and they did my eyebrow, which is kind of sitting a little funky right now. But that shop has done a hell of a lot of work for me lately since I've moved back up here. Originally, that shop, I had, yeah, I'm not going to be able to twist it. Fuck, that just doesn't work very well. That little operation there was initially done in that same shop. My back piece was done by the same artist maybe 6 years ago. I have a calf piece from them. They just do really good work, so I kind of want to, if anyone stumbles into this and is looking for good, cheap art, considering, I mean, this guy's throwing out stuff that you would probably be paying, I don't know, maybe $200, $300 an hour for in a place like LA or something like that. I think his work is better than kind of the people that you see on TV. His work's better than Kat Von D. It's better than, that guy that does America Tattoo Nightmares or Nightmare Tattoos or whatever the hell it is, where they go in and cover things up. If he were to get on to, what in the hell's that tattoo show? Ink Masters, I think that was on, what was it, TBS, TNT. He could walk away with it, but he relies more on and this sleeve is a little bit dry. It needs a little bit of lotion and everything would pop just that much more amazingly. I probably should have done that before I started flaunting it around on a video, but the blacks get really black and the subtle grays just really pop out. But anyway, I mean, he relies more on, you know, people like me, people like my buddy that gets tattooed down there, really kind of word of mouth. He doesn't put his name out in magazines. He doesn't go to expos. If you know his work and if you like his work, you will find him, and maybe I'll make that a little bit easier for some people here. I don't know. I'm, you know, still trying to figure all this out, but, you know, if someone stumbles in and likes what they see on me, maybe it'll give them the impetus to come find him. He books out fairly quick, but not too far in advance. I mean, it's not like, Paul Booth, where you're waiting 2, 3, 4 years for him to open up. Really, I mean, I have 2 appointments booked with him. I have one coming up in about a week and a half, and then another one on May 8th. Excuse me. And really, he's just very approachable, very, very busy, but his book outs seem to follow the same pattern that I do. So someone will come in and start a, you know, back piece and immediately make an appointment for 2 weeks later or for a week later or something like that. And he just pushes through and gets them done. So it isn't quite as difficult to get into him as some other people. Really, really, really good. And, you know, the color he can get, the saturation he can get is just phenomenal. I didn't necessarily mean for this to turn into a big, huge, long rant, but I'm kind of happy with what's going on up here by way of explaining my weird-ass shirt. So as far as gaming stuff goes, and ideas for actual channel content beyond this kind of stuff. Right now, the plan is, unless something changes, I need to read my essay that I have to write on this weekend, and it's going to be rather interesting to see how I'm going to argue it, because it's based on technology. It's does the prolific technology that we have help or hinder the family unit, essentially? So if you give your kids a smartphone, does that make them more or less connected with the parents? Or if everyone has a Acer Pad or something like that, does that make them more or less connected watching TV together, which is kind of odd in the beginning, than it would in, say, my generation, where we all had to watch the same TV show and you either liked it or you didn't. So it's going to be interesting. So I need to get that article down pretty pat, which I'm planning on doing tomorrow morning. And really tomorrow I just have a little bit of work to do. We have to tear down a featured exhibit in the university library that I was a part of. So part of the project that I work on. So maybe an hour. It's a pretty light day. So I'm planning on I'll probably finish up Knee Deep in the Dead and start on the second episode. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head. Start that and get that going. I started recording some Metro 2033 stuff, but I'm not sure how great it's turning out with Fraps. I'm not sure what the quality is going to be like. I haven't had a chance to look at the raw video, so I don't want to make any promises about that, but it was kind of fun talking through it, last night, the night before, in the Russian accent and getting really into it. I had a lot of fun with it. Hopefully it's going to turn out okay. It seems like it's one of those things that's kind of pushing my computer a little bit, so I might not be able to make it work all that well, so I don't want to promise it. But the Doom playthroughs or ramblings or whatever you want to call them should be completely through Knee Deep in the Dead this weekend, and probably starting the second episode. If I don't get to the second episode, I don't know where my little sheet went right away that has, there it is, ow, shirt rubbing wrong way. Yeah, so there's only 3 videos left for Doom 1. I think that we'll get those knocked out. I might jump over to Doom 2 for a while and try and put up another 2 or 3. As goofy as it is, and, you know, I know these videos aren't very high quality, they're not on the level of professionals, but it still takes me a long time to edit everything out, because I'm teaching myself as I go. So I have kind of a game plan for what I am doing, but I don't have a complete game plan. I kind of throw all this stuff in there and see where it goes from there. And sometimes the edits take 30 seconds, and the time it takes to watch through the video and make sure everything syncs up okay. Because I don't use the Fraps native voice recording software. I record in Audacity on this big mic and record the videos, so they're recorded at the same time, but getting things to sync up can kind of sometimes be a pain in the butt if I'm not really careful about what I'm saying and how I'm doing it. So, you know, this is still a learning process for me. This hasn't been up that long, so it does take me a little bit longer to edit videos. I'm hoping these last 3 for Doom should be pretty quick. I still need to film those, but they're not that bad. I'm pretty familiar with all of them still. I feel pretty confident in getting through them. I actually had central processing completely recorded. It was completely done, and I was almost ready to hit the exit button, and well, I had hit the exit button because I hit F9 to stop Fraps on the splash screen that went into the next level, and I didn't pay attention to what F9 was hotkeyed to. F9 is load game in Doom, and I didn't pay attention, and I thought it was save game. So I hit F9 stop Fraps, or I was saving it at a good spot. I mean, I guess that was it. I'd saved it at a good spot. I'd had kind of a rough go of it, and there will probably be a blooper reel of all my deaths in Doom just for grins and giggles if I can figure out how to make that work, which shouldn't be too hard. But I wanted to save it, hit F9 thinking that, oh, that's going to be great, we can save it right here. And I didn't read the screen, and it was load, and I loaded blood instead of saving as blood, and it started me right back over. So I kind of said fuck that and decided to save it for another day. So I need to go through and re-record central processing. And then there's just the computer station, which is a cakewalk. I've been through there so many times. That's one of my favorite levels in Doom. And then Anomaly, and that's just not that difficult. And then we'll see where it goes. Either I'll start episode 2, or I might jump over to Doom 2 for a while and kind of build that up a little bit, try and throw another 2 or 3 up. We'll just see how it goes. We'll see how the weekend progresses. So I thank everyone that happened to tune in, that, caught a glimpse of this. Hopefully the week is going swimmingly. I know it is for me. I am enjoying life. I'm ready for the semester to be over, but we're getting close. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or constructive criticism, let me know in the comments. Please, for the love of God, I will take any constructive criticism I can get. And, you know, if you're liking this stuff, subscribe or leave a comment and just let me know, because, you know, that input is invaluable for this kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm learning it as I go. So anytime someone has something to say, I'm, you know, listening to it and paying attention, and we'll just try and make this channel that much better. Enjoy your Friday. Good luck, Godspeed, and all that stuff. And I will see you over the weekend with some new videos. Have a good one.